What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Healness across all social media platforms. If this is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice, I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and also validate the victims, survivors, and thrivers of said disorder. Thrivers. Today's episode is going to be about why are there so many narcissists right now? Why are there so many narcissists around right now? So a lot of people, so when I'm talking to people, one of the main questions that I get in my comment section is like, what is the word narcissist overused? Are there really that many narcissistic people in the world? This is that, blah, 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 boo, 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 bee, bee, bee. Yeah. There are a lot of narcissistic people in the world. There are a lot of narcissistic people on the planet. There just are. I know people will try to hammer away at the statistics like 0.5% or 1% of the population is diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. So yeah, 0.5 or 1% is diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, but there's still a lot of people. And just imagine the people who are not diagnosed. Imagine the people who are not diagnosed. So 1% of the population of the United States. So I think the last time they did an average or whatever, there was 330 million. So 330 million people in the United States of America, y'all, times 0.01. There's still 3.3 million people in the United States that could be diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. So 1% or even half of that, 1.7, whatever it is, 1.65 million, whatever people. There's still millions of people who could be diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. So only 50 states in the US. So whatever country you might be watching this and listening to this in, do the numbers there. You see that narcissistic people have always been around, y'all. I think social media has allowed us to shine more of a spotlight on narcissists. You know what I mean? Shine more of a spotlight on narcissists and toxic people, toxic behaviors, toxic traits, and things like that. It has also provided so much validity and so much validity to people, to explain what they're going through, explain their experiences in their life, to show them, hey, that you might not be crazy. The person you dealing with might very well be toxic as hell, and it's time for you to cut that person off. It's time for you to do something for yourself. So why are there so many narcissists? Like, it's just, I'm just telling you, society has just put a spotlight on them to make more people who might not be clinically diagnosed narcissists seem narcissistic, especially social media, stuff like that. When you build a platform on social media, this is not me talking about the self-aware narcissist. This is me talking about just people in general. When you build a platform on social media, you have to be in front of a camera. You have to take a lot of pictures. When you're a model, you're an actor, you have to take pictures and stuff like that. People are automatically going to assume you're narcissistic because you're in the spotlight. And yeah, there's a level of narcissism to everybody in the world, y'all, has a level of narcissism to them. You just do. There's levels to this. There's levels to people with narcissism and things like that. So with that being said, it's like narcissists, like society is not creating. This is my thoughts. Society is not creating more narcissists. I don't think it is. I think it's just shining the spotlight on narcissistic people. Because this is how I know. Because some of our grandmas and grandpas are toxic as hell. Did social media make them toxic? You know what I mean? Did social media put them through trauma and stuff like that? So, social media hasn't only been around for a few decades. Your grandma is 60, 70, 80 years old. Your grandpa is 60, 70, 80 years old. Toxic as hell. They might be toxic together. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think because they their parents or grandparents stayed together for a long period of time meant that they were happy. A lot of people think that because their grandparents, they had a 50-year marriage meant that they were happy. But your grandma and grandpa could have hated each other. I talk to people, when I'm doing my one-on-ones over Zoom, I talk to people sometimes like the grandpa go to the hospital and the grandma be like, oh, I hope he don't come back this time. And then when he come back from the hospital, they just kind of look at each other like, damn, you made it back? And it's like, my grandma and grandpa been together 55 years, and that's how they treat each other. It's like what they hoping the other person dies. You know what I mean? I hope Earl ass don't come back. Oh goodness gracious. You know what I mean? You ever seen the movie? I forgot the movie with Ben Stiller. When he was coughing on the popcorn, he was like, wasn't popcorn. I forgot the name of that movie. Ben Stiller, I think Ben Stiller and Drew Barrymore are buying an apartment or something like that. They try to make their old neighbors sick so they can die. But that's how it is, though, y'all. That's literally how it goes right there. like your grandma and grandpa could have been narcissists. Social media is not making, I don't think social media is shining the light like this. It's shining the light on more narcissists, but it's not, I don't think it creates more narcissists. It makes people more narcissistic, but it doesn't give people the personality disorder, because the personality disorder is typically created in childhood through trauma and loss and experiences and things like that. That's how it goes right there. You know what I mean? That's how the situation arises right there. But because like I said, look at your grandma, look at your grandpa, look at your mom, look at your dad. They didn't grow up in the social media age. Why? And they've been together 15, 20 years. One of your parents might be toxic. Both of your parents might be toxic as hell. Did social media create them? No, they are, like I'm telling y'all, generational trauma has been around for a long time. Your grandma and grandpa, they hate each other. They both might be narcissist or narcissistic. Pass that down to one or both of your parents who went and traumatize them, put them through trauma, neglect them, or just never tell them to work. Don't never set boundaries with them. And then your parent is toxic, marries your other parent. Now they have you. Guess what? They're trying to pass. It's generational trauma. How was your grandma raised? How was your grandpa raised? How were the people before us raised? That matters, y'all. I know that doesn't seem like it matters, but it does matter. So the narcissists have always, narcissists have always been around. They have, y'all. They have. Like, look, sociopathic, narcissistic people. Look at Adolf Hitler. Y'all think he was of sound mind and body when he was doing all this crazy shit? No. Hell no. Look at all these dictators that mass genocide and shit like that. People have been crazy, narcissistic, toxic, personality disorders for a long time before social media. They're so old you had to write about them. Narcissistic people are in the Bible, y'all. So social media, there's a lot of it seems like there are more narcissists around because there's a camera in their face now. Like there's a camera in this narcissist's face. You know what I mean? So narcissists have been around for a very, very long time. It's just, again, very rarely do people go get diagnosed with the personality disorder. So if you're holding on, waiting for the person in your life to go get a diagnosis, you might be waiting for a long time, y'all. Because typically they don't, they won't go get diagnosed because they don't think anything, they think something's wrong with them, but it's easier to blame you. It's easier to put it onto you. It's easier to hurt you. It's easier to pass it on to you and things like that. It's easier to avoid accountability and shame by putting it on other people. You know what I mean? So very rarely do narcissistic people go get diagnosed and things like that. But anyways, y'all, let me cut this thing short and sweet to the point, y'all. Toronto, Canada is November 19th. If you haven't, 2022. If you haven't registered for it yet, go to narcavengers.com. I'm going to be there in person, doing a little meet and greet, whatever. narcavengers.com/Toronto. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like and subscribe for more. As always, Mental Illness is out. Peace.